Old country road. Night a lonely car snakes its way down an unlit, forest-flanked road. Trees arch overhead like skeletal fingers. INT. Night, Evelyn Hart, 32, emotionally drained, stares ahead. Her eyes are hollow. A half-empty prescription bottle rattles in the cup holder. Voice message V. From phone, cheerful voice. Hey, Evie. It's been years. I know this is sudden, but they found something in the church. I think it's connected to your mother. Please come back to Hollow's End. Evelyn clenches the wheel tighter. Hollow's Yendi. Night the car crests a hill. Below lies the forgotten town. No neon signs. No movement. Just mist and memories. ACT2. Unearthing the past. INT. Abandoned church. Day dust motes float like spirits in the colored light of stained glass. Evelyn walks slowly down the aisle. Her footsteps echo. She stares at a trapdoor beneath the altar, recently uncovered. Pastor Elias, 60s, appears beside her. Pastor Elias, your mother was the last to set foot down there. 30 years ago. Before everything. Evelyn, before she went mad? INT. Sealed crypt. Later the crypt is made of black stone, carved with ancient symbols. A wooden box, sealed in wax, sits at the center. A faint whispering starts as Evelyn approaches. Evelyn, Soto, Mom, what did you leave behind? Sealed crypt. Night the wax seal on the wooden box begins to crack. Not by Evelyn's hands, but on its own. The whispering intensifies, still unintelligible, like 1,000 moths fluttering at once. Evelyn slowly reaches out and touches the lid. Flash, a vision. Quick, jarring images. Her mother screaming in the mirror. A child crying in a dark hallway. The church walls bleeding black ichor. A man hanging from the church bell tower, his eyes removed. Back to scene. Evelyn collapses, gasping. INT. Church office. Later Pastor Elias helps Evelyn up. She looks pale, shaken. Evelyn, there's something down there. Something that knew me. Pastor Elias, it's not your fault. What happened to your mother? To this town, this place has always hidden rot beneath the wood. Evelyn, it's in me now. I felt a crawl inside. ACT3. The possession of memory. INT. Evelyn's childhood home. Night, Evelyn returns to the abandoned house she grew up in. Dust-covered furniture. Broken pictures. The mirror in the hallway is covered with a sheet. She removes the sheet. Her reflection smiles before she does. She gasps. A burned handprint appears on the glass. INT. Bedroom. Night, Evelyn finds her mother's old journal. Pages are torn, but some remain. They called it the Hollow. Not a place. A presence. It feeds on grief, then offers comfort. But the cost is your soul. The door beneath the church was never supposed to open again. Montage. Evelyn begins hearing voices calling her name in her own voice. She sees shadows moving in her peripheral vision. Her dreams are haunted by her younger self, crying blood. A burned woman stands at the foot of her bed. Her mother. Church. Storm night, Evelyn confronts Pastor Elias, who reveals the town's dark pact. Pastor Elias, your mother, tried to end it, but the Hollow chose her. Then you. It passes down through blood. Evelyn, so I'm cursed? Pastor Elias, no. You're the last one who can seal it again. Final descent, Evelyn returns to the crypt, holding her mother's silver locket, which glows faintly in the dark. The box is opened. Inside, a mirror, but it shows not your reflection, but your deepest wound. Evelyn sees herself as a child, abandoned, alone. A voice whispers, Hollow V, let me fill the emptiness. You don't have to hurt anymore. She nearly steps into the mirror, but stops. Evelyn, no. The pain is mine. I lived it. I survived it. I'm not yours. The mirror shatters. The crypt begins to collapse. ACT 5. Rebirth or ruin. EXT. Church. Dawn smoke rises from the now ruined church. Evelyn stands outside, covered in ash, holding the unbroken locket. The air is still. The whispers are gone. Pastor Elias. V. Some souls are hollowed out by pain. Others are forged by it. Evelyn, I choose who I become now. Days later. Dust the church now stands in ruins, scorched and sunken. But the town, it feels different. Too quiet. No birds. No wind. A lingering unease. INT. Bedroom. Evelyn's house. Evelyn wakes up, gasping from another nightmare. She's been seeing things, even with the Hollow supposedly gone. She checks the mirror. For a second, her reflection is weeping black tears. INT. Town library. Day, Evelyn researches ancient folklore. She finds a reference in an old, untranslated book. The hollow is not a demon, not a spirit. It is a tear, a soul fracture, a hunger. It cannot die, only slumber. Below that, a phrase carved in Latin. Quat mane in tenebris, semper famum sentit. What remains in darkness is always hungry. ACT 7. Contagion. We see townsfolk slowly changing, subtle at first. A mother rocking an invisible baby at the bus stop. A teacher at school whispering answers to students no one else sees. Pastor Elias walking into the woods and not returning. The hollow has begun to spread, not just through blood, but through memory, trauma, and pain. Diner. Night. Evelyn sits across from Jacob, 38, a childhood friend turned local sheriff. Evelyn, it's back. I don't know how, but the hollow's not done. Jacob, maybe it never really left. Maybe it just needed a new path through you. ACT 8. The soul mirror. INT. Town hall. Abandoned storage room behind a false wall. Evelyn finds another mirror. This one much older than the one in the crypt. It's covered in blood, with names etched into the frame. Some are crossed out. Her mother's name, Elias, and now her own. The mirror begins to ripple. Not with a reflection, but a doorway. ACT 9. Through the hollow, Evelyn steps into the mirror. She finds herself in a liminal space, a never-ending corridor of doors, each one showing a person's worst memory. She sees a woman drowning her newborn, a man walking away as his brother screams in a fire, herself leaving her mother in a hospital bed. A voice echoes, Hollow V, this is what we are, regret, grief, the pieces you hide, we keep them safe. You are already part of us. Final door. Evelyn sees a future, her hollow-eyed, guiding others into the mirror, feeding the entity. But something shifts. She reaches in her chest and pulls out the locket, now glowing. The hollow screeches, Evelyn, you may feed on pain, but I decide what I become. She throws the locket into the heart of the hollow. A blinding light explodes. ACT 10. Ashes and answers. INT. Evelyn's house. Morning. Evelyn wakes up. No mirrors, no whispers, no tears, just sunlight. The town is quiet, but alive again. Children laugh. A breeze moves the trees. She writes a final entry in her mother's journal. The hollow is not gone, but it's sealed for now. I carry its mark, not as a curse, but a reminder. Pain share becomes lighter, and light always returns. Whispers of the Hollow, Part 2, to be continued. Shall we keep going into Part 3? Maybe a bigger scope, multiple towns, or even cosmic horror themes. Evelyn's mind. Metaphysical plane. Evelyn performs a ritual learned from her mother's journal. She must go deeper into the hollow, willingly, to find its source. She walks through a hallway of mirrors showing her future, sends a staircase of her own dead versions, a garden, blackened and filled with souls hanging like fruit at the center, a tree made of bones, pulsing with red light. The hollow, a formless voice. We are not evil. We are hunger. We were born the first time someone buried pain and called it healing. Evelyn, you can't have me. The hollow, we already do, but we offer you choice. ACT 16. The choice. She can become its vessel and control the spread at a cost, or sacrifice her soul to seal it again, possibly forever. She takes the third option. She offers her joy instead, the only thing the hollow has never consumed. The tree begins to crack. ACT 17. Fractured light. INT. City streets. Sunrise. Evelyn wakes up in the middle of the street. No one remembers the theater. The artists are gone. The gallery is rubble. But she still has visions. The world feels colder. On news, similar outbreaks are starting. In Brazil, in Japan, in South Africa. Final scene. Small apartment. Night. Evelyn looks into her mirror. Her reflection no longer mimics her. It whispers, we are patient. Smash to black. Montage. World locations. Rio de Janeiro. A boy draws mirrors with bloody eyes on every wall in his school. Tokyo. A subway musician plays a song that causes commuters to convulse in grief. Cape Town. A mural appears overnight depicting a woman with no face, labeled the Hollow Queen. Evelyn's face is everywhere, not by fame, but by shared vision. INT. Secret facility. Unknown location. A group known as the Apostles of Reflection reviews incidents. They've been tracking the hollow for generations. Let apostle 60s. Sharp, she's not the cause. She's the key. The hollow chose her, and now it fears her. City. Night. It's been 3 months. Evelyn now lives in a small apartment on the outskirts of the city. She's quiet, always watching her reflection. INT. Therapist's office. A clock ticks. Evelyn stares at her therapist, Dr. Lydia. Mourn. Calm, but unreadable. Mourn and the visions? Evelyn. Gone. Beat. But I don't trust the silence anymore. INT. Art gallery. Night. Evelyn visits an exhibition titled The Soul Orchard. It's a series of paintings, each canvas displaying the exact images from her visions in the hollow. In the corner stand a new artist, Callum Rhe, pale, calm, eyes sunken. He leans in and whispers, "Callum, we don't dream the hollow. The hollow dreams us." ACT 12. The Artists of Pain. Evelyn investigates. She finds that multiple artists, musicians, and writers across the country are all producing similar imagery. Mirrors, ash doors, eyes without pupils. Each of them reports nightmares, a pull toward empty places, hearing a name, and whispers. Evelyn Hart, INT. Convent. Night. She visits an old convent where one of the artists tried to burn their own eyes out to unsee the hollow. On the wall, smeared in soot, the door is open again. ACT 13. Hollow Seeds. INT. Library. Rare occult section. Evelyn find a long-lost grimoires referencing soul seeds. Echoes of the hollow planted in people through exposure to pain, memory, or cursed art. The soul, once cracked, becomes fertile ground. The hollow grows within, silent at first, until the mind becomes the orchard and the fruit becomes others. She realizes the hollow isn't a place anymore. It's a virus of grief, a living thought. ACT 14. The hollow manifest. INT. Abandoned theater. Night. Artists gather, unknowing victims of the hollow, to premiere a film written while possessed. Evelyn watches in horror as the images on screen begin to infect the audience. They start weeping, screaming. Some laugh uncontrollably. One hangs himself mid-viewing. In a hidden lab beneath Hollow's end, the apostles reveal a final tool, a memory transference device, capable of implanting core memories into others. They want to use Evelyn's hope, forgiveness, and resilience to overwrite hollowed minds, but it may burn her soul entirely. ACT 23. The broadcast. INT. Radio tower. Night. Evelyn plugs into the machine, speaking her truth into the world. You are not what hurt you. You are not your sorrow. The hollow lied. You are light wrapped in scars, and you are still here. Broadcasts flood across the globe. Some fall dead, unable to withstand the light. Others scream and wake up. The mirrors begin to crack. ACT 24. Evelyn's fate. Her body collapses. She's in a coma, but alive. A voice speaks inside her head. Volo, you burned your soul to save them, but fire always leaves something behind. INT. Unknown realm. Black. Evelyn opens her eyes in a blank void. A version of her, pure, whole, stands before her. Other Evelyn. We're not done. There's still one place it hides. Evelyn. Where? Other Evelyn. Inside the people who won't let go. Evelyn floats in an endless sea of voices. Whispers, laughter, screams. These are the thoughts of the world, all tangled. Evelyn, to herself, this isn't death. This is everyone. She realizes the hollow didn't die. It retreated into the collective unconscious, the soul web of humanity. And she's the only one who can enter it willingly. ACT 26. The collective core. INT. Citadel of thought. Dreamscape. Evelyn walks through a massive citadel built of glass memories. Each pane holds a person's most painful moment. In the center, a throne made of mirrors, cracked and bleeding shadows. Sitting on it is the hollow queen, a reflection of Evelyn, twisted, crowned, smiling. Hollow queen, you gave them light, but they still came back to me. They always will. Evelyn, not if I teach them how to carry the dark. Hospital room. Reality. Her body gasps awake. The apostles are stunned. No one has ever returned from the mind core. Jacob is waiting. He kneels beside her. Jacob, you did it. People are waking up. They're forgetting the whispers. Evelyn, good, but some still hear them. ACT 29. The final gate. One last rift remains. Deep in Antarctica, where an ancient hollow gate lies buried in ice. Evelyn volunteers for the mission. She's not just fighting the hollow anymore. She's becoming its balance. ACT 30. Silence returns. EXT. Antarctic Temple. Night. Evelyn enters the gate alone. It begins to collapse behind her. No one knows what she found in there. But after that day, the hollow goes silent. No more mirror deaths. No more art that screams. No more nightmares. Just quiet. INT. Unknown. Later, a child in Norway draws Evelyn's face on a wall. The parents ask why. Child, she keeps the shadows quiet. Fade out. Final title card. Whispers of the Hollow. The Yindi. Or is it? To be continued. We can take this to a feature-length screenplay, a Netflix-style horror miniseries, a psychological horror novel trilogy, or spin into a video game concept. Seriously, it's perfect for that. Let me know how far you want to push this. I'll follow you into the dark. Blackheart IU said, to be continued. ChatGPT said, you're relentless, and I'm so here for it. This is now beyond a story. We're building a horror universe, a mythos, a modern dark legend. Welcome to part 6 of Whispers of the Hollow. The Hollow is dormant. Evelyn vanished into the final gate. The world has forgotten, but shadows always remember. Clapperboard Whispers of the Hollow, part 6. The Return of the Forgotten. ACT 31. Forgotten, but not gone. INT. College Classroom. Day. A philosophy professor, Dr. Saharazim, lectures on the nature of grief and shared consciousness. A student raises their hand. In the aftermath of Evelyn's sacrifice, a new generation of dreamers is born. Children who never experience the hollow, yet speak its name in sleep. Some draw ancient symbols. Others go missing for days, but remember nothing. A secret group forms online. The ASH Born, a forum of teens who remember a woman in their dreams with mirror eyes. They call her the Queen Beneath. ACT 33. Evelyn Reborn. INT. Himalayan Monastery. Night. A monk lights incense. Behind him, a figure stands in silence. Evelyn, now older, her hair streaked with silver, eyes deep like obsidian mirrors. She has returned. Changed. Monk, where have you been? Evelyn inside them. Inside all of us. The hollow wasn't the enemy. It was a question we never answered. ACT 34. The fracture awakens. Strange global events occur again. Mass amnesia in Berlin, a painting in Istanbul that blinks, a girl in Seoul levitating in her sleep, repeating, it cracked. It cracked. She's coming back. Evelyn knows what this means. The hollow was only the first fracture. Now, something older is pushing through. ACT 35. Project. Shard. Evelyn contacts the Apostles, now operating under Project Shard, a task force dedicated to soul anomalies. She meets the new leader, Alina LEX, a psychic with a mirror eye implant. Alina, you sealed one door, Evelyn, but there are 7. One of them is already opened in the dream wastes, a psychic realm between all sleeping minds. ACT 36. The wastes. Evelyn and a small team enter the dream wastes, an abstract, ever-shifting dream world infected by fragments of hollow and new, unrecognizable forces. They encounter a river of screaming clocks, a city built from childhood regrets, a figure who looks like Evelyn but speaks in dead languages at the heart of it, a cracked throne, and a new sigil, one they've never seen before. Evelyn, this isn't the hollow. This is something beneath it. ACT 37. The Shard Queen in a massive montage. Global strangeness. A wedding video shows the bride marrying herself. A building in New York now has stairwells that descend forever. A child is born with mirror-like skin. No organs, only reflections inside. People begin experiencing other people's memories. Time loops, history shifts, identity breaks, and everyone starts having the same dream. A city of black glass, floating above an ocean of grief. ACT 40. Evelyn's return to Hollows. End. INT. Hollows Yindi. Now a dead town, Evelyn walks its abandoned streets. The last fragments of who she once was are fading. She's stronger, but less human. Voice V. We don't belong here anymore. A mirror appears in the sky. Massive, cracked, hovering above the town. Its reflection? A world that never healed. Evelyn whispers. The mirror fall has begun. ACT 41. Project Shard collapses. INT. Shard HQ. Chaos, the apostles of reflection, are losing control. Alina Alexa's gone missing. Psychic ruptures open across the globe. Some operatives go mad. A new faction rises from the ashes. The Hollow kind. People who have merged with the Hollow and now act as the Shard Queen's harbingers. They preach a chilling mantra. What is broken is more beautiful. ACT 42. Evelyn's new powers. Evelyn is no longer just Evelyn. She now dreams in other people's minds, can erase memories with a touch, and split into two versions of herself during high stress. One light, one shadow, but with power comes destabilization. She's becoming something between human and hollow. ACT 43. The Fracture Cathedral, the final battleground, is revealed. A hidden dimension called the Fracture Cathedral, located in the dream between dying and waking. Only accessible by those who've died, but not stayed dead. Evelyn is the key. Jacob volunteers to be the lock. Inside the Fracture Cathedral, memory armies fight with forgotten moments as weapons. The Hollow kind chant to summon the Shard Queen fully. Small apartment. Night. Paris, a teenager. K.I. Sorel, 17. Wakes up crying. He doesn't know why. He's been drawing the same woman every day for weeks. Silver-streaked hair, dark eyes that hold other worlds. He doesn't know her, but she knows him. One night, he draws her name for the first time, Evelyn. ACT 48. The memory echo objects around the world begin to change. A snow globe shows Hollow's end instead of London. People report hearing whispers in dead languages. Paintings from centuries ago update themselves overnight, now showing Evelyn. Someone is restoring what was erased. The Hollow, though silent, begins to stir, but it's not angry. It's lonely. ACT 49. Kai's descent. Kai finds an abandoned museum basement filled with forgotten artifacts. A cracked mirror begins to reflect his future instead of his present. He touches it and suddenly finds himself in INT. The mirror realm. He walks through a world where gravity doesn't obey, where time flows sideways, and where Evelyn lives in fractured memory loops. She sees him. Evelyn, how did you get here? Kai remembered you. ACT 50. The last mirror. Kai's memory is unique. He was born the day Evelyn disappeared. He is the world's unintentional backup. His mind is the last unshattered mirror, a perfect reflection of what the Hollow couldn't erase. But the Hollow Queen, still trapped in the deepest shard of Evelyn's psyche, wants Kai's mind to escape. Evelyn realizes, if Kai forgets her, the world will be safe forever. If Kai remembers, she can return, but the Hollow might come with her. Kai looks her in the eye. K.I., even if it means I lose everything. You deserve to be remembered. ACT 52. The second shattering. Kai chooses to remember. The mirror realm collapses in golden light. Evelyn screams, then disappears into his chest. Not as a spirit, but as a memory fused with his own. He wakes up, different, stronger, not alone. Montage. Various locations. Children all over the world begin to draw cities they've never seen. Symbols from the Hollow, and a tall woman with light pouring from her chest. One child sculpts a figure in clay. The face? Evelyn. And behind her, in every drawing, a second shadow, growing larger each time. ACT 54. Kai's Fracture. INT. Book tour. Night. Lisbon. Kai signs a copy of Whispers of the Hollow. A woman in line leans in close and whispers, "You didn't write it." She did. "We just read through you." Kai begins to suffer blackouts. When he wakes, pages of new chapters are scrawled in his notebook, in languages no one speaks anymore. Evelyn's presence inside him is splintering, not because she's fading, but because something else is trying to push through. ACT 55. The mirror born. A new phenomenon. People are being born with reflections that move before they do. They're called the mirror born, and they seem drawn to Kai. Some are peaceful, some scream when they look at glass, but all of them say one thing in their sleep: the library is opening. ACT 56. The infinite library. Kai returns to Hollow's End, now overgrown and quiet. Beneath the ruins of the old church, he finds a door of obsidian, unlocked by a whisper. Evelyn, inside his mind. You're ready. He steps through into the infinite library, a realm where every soul becomes a book, every mirror a chapter. The shelves go on forever, and at the center, A pulsing book wrapped in barbed wire. The cover reads, The Origin of the Hollow. ACT 57. Revelation: the Hollow was never a curse. It was a safeguard, a spiritual firewall created eons ago to protect the human mind from a greater force. The Deep Reader, an entity that feeds on story, memory, and identity. It reads you, and in doing so, rewrites you. It is awakening now, because Evelyn's story was told too many times. Various locations. Dissolving reality: a man in Sydney sees his name fade off his driver's license, then forgets who he is. A street in Paris folds upward like paper, revealing blank white beneath. In Argentina, a library catches fire, but the flames burn in reverse, unwriting the books. People everywhere begin to see words floating in midair. Not all can read them, but those who do go quiet. Their eyes turn mirror-like. They've become pages, servants of the Deep Reader. ACT 61. Evelyn's return of flesh. Evelyn is alive again. Pulled from memory, rewritten by Kai. But something's wrong. She bleeds ink, not blood. She dreams in paragraphs. Evelyn, this isn't resurrection. It's authorship. She realizes she is now part of the story, literally. If she dies again, she could be rewritten by anyone, including him. ACT 62. The story-bound a resistance forms, made up of the rememberers, those who survived the Hollow's earliest touch, the mirror-born, now stabilized, able to bend memory and rewrite space. Kai, now dubbed the last free, pen their mission, find the first sentence, the original phrase that birthed the Hollow, and possibly the world. ACT 63. The Deep Reader speaks. INT. Sky of dreams. Night the clouds part like torn pages. The voice of the Deep Reader echoes. Stories rot in the hands of those who love them too long. You were meant to forget. I kept you safe. He offers peace. Forget the Hollow. Forget yourselves. Live blank. Many are tempted. Some accept. They vanish. Erased. ACT 64. Evelyn's betrayal. Evelyn learns Kai wrote a contingency ending, one that allows him to erase her if she ever becomes dangerous. Evelyn, devastated. You don't trust me. Kai, I trust you. I don't trust this story anymore. The bond cracks. She disappears into the library without him, hunting the first sentence alone. Kai crafts a literal weapon, a pen sword, forged from ink and silver, able to cut through story threads. The forgotten format. INT. Digital server. Farm. Night. Hong Kong. A technician restores an old AI archive. Files begin to reformat into handwritten script, something no one coded. A single document uploads itself across the world. The _ last reader. Ink, when opened, it erases your name from your mind. And in its place, you hear your own voice, narrating a story you don't remember living. ACT 69. Evelyn and the Hollow kind. Evelyn is now fully between worlds, both narrator and character. She travels with a small group of survivors through fractured dimensions, seeking out new story outbreaks. One member of her crew, a reformed page, reveals a secret. There's a book that reads back. If it ever finishes, everything becomes fiction. They call it the manuscriptor, and it's waking up. ACT 70. Kai rewritten. Kai is alive, but different. He speaks in rhyme. He forgets hours at a time. His shadow moves faster than his body. He's been infected, not by the Deep Reader, but by the manuscriptor itself. He is becoming the ending. ACT 71. The manuscriptor. INT. Black library. Nowhere. Evelyn finds it. A massive, pulsing book the size of a building. It doesn't open. It opens you, and it begins to read her entire life back to her, but in reverse. Her wounds reopen. Her mother dies again. The Hollow whispers again. You do not own your pain. It was written for you. ACT 72. The rewrite virus around the world. Reality begins to glitch. Buildings collapse in a stage. Directions. Conversations end in line redacted. People wake up with editor's notes tattooed on their arms. Everyone is becoming part of the book. No one knows who's writing it anymore. Evelyn decides. She won't just be the hero, or the villain, or the rewritten. She'll become the author. But to do so, she must erase her own narrative. She opens the manuscriptor willingly, knowing she'll lose everything she's ever been. ACT 74. Kai, the ending. Abandoned school, Ohio. Night, students find a book hidden in a locker. When opened, It's blank at first. Then a single line appears, written in red ink. No blood. Do not write in me. I write in you. Within seconds, the school's history rewrites itself. Yearbooks change. Teachers forget students. One boy vanishes completely, erased except in the memory of one friend. ACT 77. The blood-printed books around the world. Bleeding books begin appearing in church altars, cemetery walls, inside people's dreams. Each one carries a title. The red chapters, they're stories that never wanted to be told. Stories too violent, too broken, too dark. But now, they're demanding to be read. ACT 78. Evelyn hears the walls. Evelyn begins to hear whispers through brick, through glass, through her own heartbeat. They chant, "The library is alive, and it's bleeding out." She touches her arm. A small bookmark-shaped wound opens beneath her skin, and from it pages slide out. They're her memories, and they're rewriting themselves. ACT 79. Kai and the Ink Eaters. Kai is now a traveler, a watcher, no longer a character. He investigates a new threat. The Ink Eaters, parasitic beings that consume forgotten books and leave behind distorted versions. They speak in overwritten text. Delete the author. Let the pain write itself. Kai realizes they were born from the ashes of the manuscriptor. They're the byproduct of too many stories erased too soon. Evelyn descends into the lowest level of the infinite library, now reshaped by blood and broken plot lines. There, she finds a heart, not metaphorical, a real, beating heart chained to a throne of burnt books. It's pulsing not with life, but with unfinished endings. ACT 81. The red quill, a new tool appears. Not Kai's silver pen. This one bleeds when held. The red quill can bring back the erased, destroy entire timelines, write new rules of reality, but it comes at a price. Remote village, Transylvania. Dusk, an old book reappears in a child's bedroom, though it was destroyed a decade ago. Inside, a list of names, one by one. The people in the village begin to vanish. They're not dead. They're simply unchecked. ACT 85. The indexer arrives across the globe. Strange sightings occur. A tall figure with no eyes, but foreshadows a whisper in forgotten dialects. Your stories exceed their limits. Time to catalog. They call it the indexer, a being born from the weight of too many stories. Not evil, but mercilessly organized. ACT 86. Evelyn learns the rules. Evelyn begins noticing strange red stamps on people's skin. D03C, 014S, 001, they're Dewey-like classifications. People are being sorted by genre. Fighters become action stories. Artists become poetry. The depressed? Tragedies. Evelyn is labeled F-infinity. Forbidden fiction. ACT 87. Kai in the index realm. Kai is drawn into a realm of pure catalog, a white void where rows of invisible books hum with potential. He meets a girl named Solace, the last remaining unfiled. Together, they find a mirror shaped like an open book. It reflects not your face, but your narrative. And Kai's? He has none. He's been completely redacted. Cities are locked in place. People paused, mid-step, not frozen but bookmarked. The indexer is building something. A global catalog where every soul is sorted and shelved for eternity. No more chaos, no more hollow, just perfect story order. But order is death. ACT 89. Evelyn's revolt. Evelyn finds a loophole. If someone rewrites their genre, they can become unindexable. She leads a resistance, the genre breakers. A warrior who becomes a lullaby, a villain who chooses kindness, a silent girl who becomes a scream. They burn their labels. And the index starts to crack. ACT 90. Facing the indexer. Cities are locked in place. People paused, mid-step, not frozen but bookmarked. The indexer is building something. A global catalog where every soul is sorted and shelved for eternity. No more chaos, no more hollow, just perfect story order. But order is death. ACT 89. Evelyn's revolt. Evelyn finds a loophole. If someone rewrites their genre, they can become unindexable. She leads a resistance, the genre breakers. A warrior who becomes a lullaby, a villain who chooses kindness, a silent girl who becomes a scream. They burn their labels. And the index starts to crack. ACT 90. Facing the indexer. Evelyn and Kai confront the indexer in the center archive. A colossal vault of glowing orbs, each one a living story. Indexer, you are the clutter. I am a catalog. You had your chaos. Now make way for clarity. Evelyn Clarity is a cage, and we were meant to write messily. She opens her orb. Inside, every moment she ever refused to be simplified. The indexer can't read her. She is unclassifiable. ACT 91. The collapse of order, the index realm begins to unravel. Shelves twist into vines. Catalogs burst into sound. And in the middle, Evelyn speaks one line that echoes across realities. We are not books. We are authors in motion. The indexer crumbles, not in pain, but in relief. It was tired of organizing everything. A wild shelf somewhere in a quiet part of the infinite library. A single shelf shakes with laughter. It holds stories that don't stay still. And at the center, one spine glows with a strange, handwritten title, Whispers of the Hollow Vault. 13. The Shadow Index, a hand reaches for it. Yours. The Quiet Room, INT. Soundless vault. Below all reality there exists a single room untouched by time, memory, or genre. Here, a lone figure, the archivist, watches reality unfold through fractured lenses. Once human, now bound to the ink, they whisper, every story that breaks its ending owes me something. Hospital room. Reality, her body gasps awake. The apostles are stunned. No one has ever returned from the mine core. Jacob is waiting. He kneels beside her. Jacob, you did it. People are waking up. They're forgetting the whispers. Evelyn, good, but some still hear them. ACT 29. The final gate, one last rift remains. Deep in Antarctica, where an ancient hollow gate lies buried in ice. Evelyn volunteers for the mission. She's not just fighting the hollow anymore. She's becoming its balance. ACT 30. Silence returns. EXT. Antarctic Temple. Night. Evelyn enters the gate alone. It begins to collapse behind her. No one knows what she found in there. But after that day, the hollow goes silent. No more mirror deaths. No more art that screams. No more nightmares. Just quiet. INT. Unknown. Later, a child in Norway draws Evelyn's face on a wall. The parents ask why. Child, she keeps the shadows quiet. Fade out. Final title card. Whispers of the Hollow. The Yendi. Or is it? To be continued. We can take this to a feature-length screenplay, a Netflix-style horror miniseries, a psychological horror novel trilogy, or spin into a video game concept. Seriously, it's perfect for that. Let me know how far you want to push this. I'll follow you into the dark. Blackheart, you said. To be continued. ChatGPT said, you're relentless, and I'm so here for it. This is now beyond a story. We're building a horror universe, a mythos, a modern dark legend. Welcome to part 6 of Whispers of the Hollow. The Hollow is dormant. Evelyn vanished into the final gate. The world has forgotten, but shadows always remember. Clapperboard. Whispers of the Hollow, part 6. The Return of the Forgotten. ACT 31. Forgotten, but not gone. INT. College classroom. Day. A philosophy professor, Dr. Saharazim, lectures on the nature of grief and shared consciousness. A student raises their hand. Evelyn meets the ink in its true form, a writhing galaxy of language, emotion, and unwritten trauma. It offers her one final deal. You give me an ending, and I'll give you a legacy. But Evelyn knows better now. Ebony, no, I don't want legacy. I want continuance. Act 105. The ink tries to finish the story. The ink attempts to end it all. It writes a perfect final sentence. And so, all things were remembered, and nothing more needed to be told. But Evelyn tears the sentence from a page and rewrites it. And so, all things were remembered, and still, the whispers came. The ink screams, because the story still isn't over. Act 106. The Inkwalker awakens from the collision of Kai and Evelyn's story threads. A new being forms. The Inkwalker, born from chaos, memory, defiance, and choice. They are not a character. They are possibility incarnate. Their only weapon, a pen made of shattered endings. Their mission, to carry the hollow forward forever. The book with no end back in the real world. A bookstore shelf holds a book with no back cover. People report, reading it forever, being pulled into it, seeing their own names inside its title. Whispers of the Hollow author, unknown status, ongoing epilogue. You somewhere. You put down the